Hey, lovely people. Today we're going to talk about something kind of obvious. Purple hair. Now, maybe you don't have purple hair or it's the furthest thing from your mind and you never even would consider it. But stick with me here because this isn't about beauty tips or anything like that. This is about something that goes beyond whether or not you have or I have purple hair and what people think of it and why you're not doing something that you really would like to do. So that's where we're going. And I promise you there will be something relevant for you no matter what color your hair is or if you have no hair on your head at all. So today is my day that I go 6 o'clock in the morning to my extremely talented stylist for my purple hair update that I do every single month. And right after that, oftentimes I stop at one of our favorite little bistros here in Tucson, Arizona, and I'll pick up something for our breakfast and take it home. And so today was breakfast burritos. And so it's pretty busy. There's a lot of people around and I'm getting my order to go. I have my bag and I'm headed to the door, and it's very narrow because there's people at all the tables and there's just room for one person to walk through. And there's an older woman coming towards me with a very resolute look on her face. And she stops and is just standing still. And there's no possible way I'm going to get to the door until she moves to the side or lets me through or whatever. So, okay. So I walk up face to face and she looks at me with steely-eyed determination, kind of like a warrior getting ready to pledge their loyalty before they go into battle. She leans forward and says, "I love your hair." Oh, okay. And then she sits back and says, "I wish I had the fill in the blank here, but we'll say guts." But she actually referred to another body part, but she wished she had the guts to do it. And she was complimenting me on how it looked on me. And of course I say thank you and move on towards the door. But I was thinking about it as I drove home because quite frankly, I often get comments when I'm out and about. Strangers will say something to me about my hair, all ages. And occasionally I get the weird one, or the one that thinks I'm weird. That might happen on some of my social media posts of weird hair. Or one time we were waiting for an order in another restaurant, a takeout restaurant, and I heard this older gentleman turn to his wife and say loudly, "I'm glad you don't do that to your hair." And I've been doing this in my hair for about 7 years. Okay, so here's the thing: it's not about whether my hair is purple or white or pink or whatever. And my joke is that I used to dye my hair auburn, and when I stopped dyeing it, I found out it was actually purple. Okay, so but the point of it is, I have been struck over the years over how many people approach me, women, and say, "I wish I had the courage to do it. I wish my husband would allow me to do it. I wish my workplace would allow me to do it." But the biggest one for me is courage, because I often say, well, how much courage does it take? We're not talking about permanently changing something on yourself that can never be undone. Or I mean, it's less scary than a tattoo as far as I'm concerned. You can always color your hair again if you don't like it, let it grow out, whatever. But the point of this is, what is there going on in your life? What is on a list of things? What do you see when you look at some around you and say, wow, I wish I could do that. Wow, I wish I were brave enough to do that. I've had people join my copywriting programs or talk to me about them and say, "I'm scared." And I'm always struck by that, of how many times people say they are afraid to do the thing, whether it's color their hair, whether it's change their appearance, whether it's go online, whether it's just be who they are. I wore this shirt intentionally today because another one of my little quirks is I like Hawaiian shirts. And in solidarity with Hawaii right now, another reason that I'm wearing it. But I just have to show up as I am. So I don't have a beige background, and I don't always look completely what the classic business perception might be. I've had people join my programs that even admitted to me I wasn't sure, if I wasn't sure, because would you really know what you were talking about? Because you had some purple in your hair. And this is just the reason I have done it, is because I just always wanted to. And as I just had this vision of having a little bit of purple in my hair. And then the first time we actually did it, it was just like, okay, I love this. And it just feels like me. To me, it feels like me. Okay. And so what feels like you to you? What is it that you would like to do, but maybe you're afraid of other people's opinions? Maybe you're afraid of what someone will say if you speak differently, look different, walk differently, do your what you do online differently. And what I want to encourage you to do today is just get over it. Okay. I mean, we only get this one, as far as we know, one trip to Earth, right? And it goes by very, very quickly, faster and faster as we get older. It seems to be accelerating and compressing. So don't wait. Don't wait to do the thing that you've always wanted to do. Some of the things we've done that some people have said, wow, you were really brave to do that. We sold everything we had and hit the road in an RV. I had to start life over again with nothing after being in the domestic violence scenario. I had to strike out on my own and figure out how to put a life back together again. I went online when I was already past 50 with something I was brand new to and didn't have any experience in, and created a multiple six-figure business within the first year. And so and 7 years ago, I said, it's time. And I got purple in my hair. And I've loved it and maintained it and done it ever since. So I want you to find that purple hair thing in your life. What's the thing that you've been putting off, haven't done, would love to do, but tell yourself a lot of reasons why you can't, you won't, you never will, or you're concerned what someone else might think, or you're waiting for someone else to give you permission. You need to give yourself that permission. I talk about this frequently in my copywriting trainings and programs with people becoming freelance copywriters, that there's no one that's going to anoint you and suddenly allow you to be the person that you wish to become, the person that you desire to become. And you have to be that person. You have to internalize that shift in your own identity, and so that you're just wearing it like you'd wear your shirt or anything else that's just part of how you go through the day, and that this is how you show up, whatever that might be. Don't hold back in the shadows. Don't linger and sit in the back row all the time and never just step up, never be heard, never be seen, because you'll never know what's possible for you until you decide to have courage, step forward, and do the thing that you've been thinking about maybe for a long time. Have the courage to go ahead. And Susan is saying, I'm a purple hair girl too when I stopped trying to please others. That's exactly the point, because honestly, it doesn't bother me if someone else doesn't like it. Not at all, because I love it and I feel confident in it, and it makes me happy. My husband also loves it, but I'm not asking his permission, but he just happens to love it as well. And I get a lot of positive feedback about it, and it's just a natural thing for me. So find that natural thing for you. Maybe for you, it's jumping out of a plane or something that you've always wanted to do, or going to another country. We went and lived in Mexico for a couple of years because it was something we always wanted to do. And so just whatever that path is for you, find your courage, pull yourself up by those proverbial bootstraps, and go after something that you've always wanted to do or you've been thinking about, whether it's a small thing or a big thing. Part of the hallmark of how I come to you with these messages is that I want to give you something you can start with today. I want you to pick something you could do today from what I've said. So today, what I'm going to encourage you to do is look for just one thing. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It doesn't have to be a permanent thing. One thing in your life that you thought, I'd really like to do that, or I really want to try that, or that's something that I would really love to do. Maybe you want to take a painting class. Maybe you want to learn something about gardening. Maybe you want to start an online business. Maybe you want to dye your hair flaming pink, whatever it might be. Just do it. Just start today and put a plan in action that you're actually going to start doing the thing you've been thinking about. And the more you flex that muscle as well, that courage muscle, the more you'll be willing to step out again and do the next thing that you've always wanted to do. That's what I've got for you today. I'll be back tomorrow because I'm showing up for 30 days in a row every single day on LinkedIn and on YouTube live. And I don't know that I'd say it's something I've always wanted to do, but I did make a commitment to it that I would do it. I will, I am, and I'll continue to. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here today. This is Tina Lorenz. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again soon.